Hey everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of HFS Unfiltered. My name is Sam Duncan, one of the analysts at HFS, and today we're going to be talking about all things customer experience, particularly in the insurance industry. So you hopefully have already seen HFS recently partnered with Sutherland to speak to a group of leading insurers and survey 400 of them to understand the current state of CX in their industry, but also the transformational efforts they're making to improve it. For me, one of the most exciting findings of the study was actually that we're really an inflection point for CX and insurers. We found 57% of leading insurers told us that it's not been a priority for their industry historically, but also 47% told us that moving forward, it's going to be one of their top 3 business objectives. So the tides are really turning. I think insurers are recognizing that they can be much more than just transactional, which is what it might have been historically. And they're leveraging tools like data, emerging technologies to create seamless interactions and hyper-personalized customer experiences. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Luckily for me, I'm joined by 2 great guests who I'll let introduce themselves. So I think, Tami, do you want to go first?
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Tami Boswell. I run operations for Aflac's Consumer Markets division. I've been in insurance about 20 years now, and so I've watched a lot of that evolution firsthand. I'm looking forward to the discussion today.
Perfect, thank you. And then I'll pass to you, Anshu.
Hello everyone, Anshu Biswas. I head the life and benefits practice at Sutherland. I'm responsible for client success, growth, transformation, and most importantly, partnerships. Right, been in the insurance industry for almost 25 years now. Application development, operations, contact center transformation, seen it, been it, and great to have this discussion today.
Perfect. And then I'll stick with you for my first question, I think, because you have the privilege of speaking to a lot of different insurers of different shapes, sizes, regions, whatever it may be, Andrew. And I'd love to ask you, looping on this sort of insurance hasn't been a priority sort of overall. Why do you think that is? What traditionally do you think insurers have struggled with in terms of improving and transforming their CX?
So, Sam, I think, I wouldn't call it a struggle, right? A struggle is a very tough word. I would say it's finding the right rhythm is the key, right? That is very important. If I really hit hard on that topic, historically, carriers have inadvertently treated customer experience initiatives similar to back office transformation, right? Trying to draw parallels. Hey, how can I work on most cost reduction? Things like average handle time, operational parameters, those are all, in my mind, inward facing, right? And those metrics are very important, don't get me wrong, but that's only tells a part of the story. Today's era of customer experience is evolving. It's no longer about just efficiency, it's about delivering that exceptional quality interaction. And I carefully choose the word interaction, right? It's very important because that shift is required. And to do that, what I'm calling the next era would be a high quality touch enabled by high technology. We'll talk about more, but that is where the rhythm is. And we'll talk about that in today's discussion.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. And then toggling over to you, Tami, I'd love to get your perspective, sort of living and breathing the industry. Talk about the turning point. What do you think's caused that mindset shift across the industry?
Yeah, I've been around long enough that I remember when everything is facts and stacks of paper and how fast you can process widgets. But from that customer's perspective, I think they're no longer limiting their expectations to insurance industry benchmarks. They are looking across consumer brands and the experience that they get across brands that are in less regulated industries like retail. And they are expecting that same level of interaction and that same level of experience with every brand that they interact with. And so, using retail as that example, they expect that those platforms can know about them and can make custom, personalized recommendations. And then, with a click of a button, you purchase something and have it delivered to your front door, and then they can make more recommendations to you. And customers don't know or don't care how heavily regulated we are and how difficult it is for, insurance or financial services to meet those expectations. They still have the expectation that every brand can know them like that, can make those easy, seamless, and personalized interactions and experiences for them. So I think the challenge then becomes for us as insurers to figure out how do we navigate that and how can we try to deliver those experiences that they expect.
No, perfect. I think it's a very fair point in terms of insurance is so uniquely harshly regulated, right? And if we look at ordering from someone like Amazon and then expecting the same from someone that has, I mean, say you're a health insurer, right? You're dealing with almost someone's most important information. So the regulation requirements, especially around emerging technology use, are pretty harsh. So then, same question to you, Anshu. Sort of, what do you think's changing the mindset?
Now, so firstly, great point, Tammy and Sam, right? And the same customer who is perfectly fine using end-to-end self-service with Amazon wants to have a real interaction when it comes to their life insurance policy, right? Same customer. But definitely, as you said, I'm seeing a terrific positive movement, right? I'm hearing less and less about call deflection to self-service as the parameter. I'm hearing more about how can we make it more ease of interaction for our customers, right? So as I said in the beginning, the rhythm is in finding that high quality touch enabled with high technology. It's about finding that right balance where technology enhances the human touch. I think that's the key without overshadowing the human element. When you do that correctly, when you play that balance, right, that will lead to a harmonious customer experience. So going back to Tanya's point, right, I think empathy, understanding, and personalized service is the change in the mindset we need to drive that rhythm, which again will go through a high quality interaction and a high tech enabled interaction.
No, perfect. That makes sense. Empathy, understanding, and personalization are three pretty hard hitting words there, right? I think it's everything insurers should be thinking about at the moment. And then, in terms of where insurers are today, one of the things our study revealed was that almost half of insurers actually believe they were already leading for customer experiences, and a similar number believe they were at parity or on par with their competition. I think it was just under 14% accepted that they were falling behind the pack. Again, I'm going to flick back to you, Tami. Do you think this is maybe a bit of naivety? Is this sort of a telling of where the industry as a whole is, and it feels like everyone knows the right direction? It's just moving the sort of roadblocks to getting there, or do you think more investments needed in sort of measuring customer experience, whether it's internal benchmarking, like you already mentioned?
Yeah, I think a lot of that depends on who we think our competition is and how we're defining competition. If you are looking at competition as insurance or even your segment of insurance, those benchmarks start to look a little bit different than if you look at best in class customer experiences across industries as the benchmark. So, depending on people's frame of mind, will kind of depend how they answer that question. But at Aflac, we are supplemental or voluntary insurance. We're not mandatory like property and casualty, your home and your auto insurance. So our customers can choose to pay for insurance or they can choose to pay for something else every month. So we don't look at our customer experience competition as insurance or even financial services. We're looking across brands to say what are those best in class customer experiences and how can we try to translate those into what we're doing in insurance, because that's where the customer is and that's what they're expecting. So if you look at something like ordering a pizza, you can order pizza from your phone and you can track on an app where it is. Your pizza's in the oven, your pizza's on Main Street, your pizza's taking a left hand turn into your neighborhood, and you can kind of watch it on its journey. And so we look at who is our customer experience competition and then how can we learn from these different experiences that they're creating. And it's not going to look exactly the same for something like a claim. We can't tell them that their claim is taking a left on Main Street, but you look at kind of what those customers are expecting, but they expect that same transparency from insurance. So how can we let them know the status of their claim using that pizza tracker as an inspiration? If you're just looking at insurance, then we probably are relatively on parity with each other, with a few that are leading the pack. But that's not where the customer is. The customer is looking at who is your customer experience competition.
I totally. Going to your first point, right? Customer carriers think they are the best. I think that confidence is a wonderful thing. Firstly, right? you need to feel that you're the best, right? You need to feel that you're the cat in a room full of dogs, right? That's confidence to me, and that is right because that is required to shape the future. I like what Tammy said. You have to start looking at other industries. You cannot be boxed in. No, agree, 100%. We are highly regulated. But look at what retail is doing. Look at what travel is doing. Travel is doing fantastic amount of transformation in customer experience, especially post-COVID, right? Can we draw parallels from the other industries and see and try to implement those? So that is a key element, and that's what we are doing even at Sutherland, right? When we talk about a customer experience, we go to our labs and literally I call in experts from travel, experts from healthcare, experts from retail into my lab. Say, this is my situation with my insurance carrier. Give me ideas. And then I'd filter that with the regulations and come out with the new ideas, right? That is how we are seeing at the industry and take it to the carriers. So that is very important. And look at we call insurance as a market, but I see there are so many sub-market within insurance. Tammy called out PNC versus life. What about the various sub-products within PNC, sub-products within life? And within that, you have the various different market segments, small, medium, large, right? Each one expects a different kind of a customer experience, right? It's almost like, arranging a party for teenagers and toddlers at the same time. It's very difficult balance. Um, so we are designing the customer experience based on who is your end customer is, what market segment you are playing, what is your product portfolio, and then draw your customer personas, map their journeys. If you can do that, undoubtedly we will be able to deliver the best customer experience. So that's the journey I strongly recommend, and I'm seeing that being highly adopted in the market.
Brilliant, thank you. So a lot of it comes down to just ultimately knowing your segment and knowing your customers within it, right? It's perfect. And then I'm keen to bring all this to life, and I think Tami, you might be the best person for this. Could you talk us through how you and the team at Aflac are really trying to improve your own customer experience? I mean, digging deep, it'd be awesome if you have any specific projects you can discuss or any initiatives and the outcomes they delivered.
Yeah. So I already mentioned our claims pizza tracker, but I think what Anshu mentioned earlier really hits it home. So at Aflac, we bring a culture of empathy and of understanding to everything that we do, whether it's developing a technology or working on training our customer solutions representatives. And it's putting that customer at the center of everything that we do. And when people think about customer experience, they often think about flashy, expensive digital platforms, and we definitely have those. And we're very proud of the online services that we bring. But if you don't also focus on your offline human interactions, you create this imbalanced experience. What we found at Aflac is that what people think they want and what they truly want in that moment are sometimes two different things. We are often talking to our customers on the worst day of their lives. Their child has just been diagnosed with cancer. They've just lost a loved one, and they're sometimes so overwhelmed that they want that personalized, that human interaction, and they just want to talk to a person. So we really look across all of our interactions and make sure that the customer experience isn't just one thing. It's that combination of all the interactions that customer has with our brand, all the way through their journey from the first time they see the duck, all the way through the time when they file the claim, and just making sure that it's balanced. Um, from a success perspective, we do a lot of different things, but surveys are a big one that we do. So post interaction, whether you have filed your claim online in the middle of the night, we want to make sure that that experience is easy. So we'll do a survey and we take those results very seriously. if you have just spoken with one of our highly trained customer solutions representatives, we'll do a survey. We want to know how you felt about that interaction in that moment. And we use that as a constant feedback loop into development. Well, did you call our customer service center because you couldn't do what you wanted to online, or is that just the channel that you wanted to engage with? And then how can we use that feedback to continually develop our ecosystems and our processes, focusing on people, process, and technology equally. But for us, the biggest driver, the biggest measure of success is going to be persistency. If they are choosing to give us their dollar again next month, that means that we got it right because they have a choice on how they spend their money.
No, that's perfect. And then sticking with you, Tami, do you think if you were speaking to maybe a friend at another insurer that's just getting started on their CX journey, or even yourselves in Aflac, how much sort of importance do you think insurers should place on developing this internally, or whether they look towards third-party service providers, maybe a Sutherland, to support them? Is a hybrid approach best? Sort of what would you recommend?
Yeah, I can't speak for the whole insurance industry, but no one should know your customer better than you know your own customer. Third parties can be absolutely invaluable. They can bring an outside perspective. They can bring a technology that you don't have the skill set to develop. They can bring tools or resources or things that you don't have, and they can really help you elevate what you're doing. But at the end of the day, your customer experience strategy has to be consistent with who your customer is and your company culture and values. And if it's not consistent with those things, it ends up being either disjointed or it's not something that's sustainable in the long term. At Aflac, we take a hybrid approach. We found that to be very successful. We lean on our own strengths. We lean on what we know about our customer. And then we bring in third parties to help bring that outside perspective.
Look, post-COVID, hybrid is the most common used term, right? Jokes apart, no, yes. Um, the carriers know their customer. They've designed their products based on the market segment, the customer profile they want to do business with. So nothing can come in front of that expertise, right? We bring in, other industries expertise, as I said, to the table. This is what others are doing. Others in the retail and in the healthcare and the travel are doing. Right? And of course, the technology, right? We are investing in the technology. We bring in ideas. We don't know which will work, which will not work. Every situation, new situation. But that bouquet of offerings from the other industries, a bouquet of digital platforms, and then taking that customer knowledge from Aflac or the carriers, right? And come out with that unique solution. You have to be a differentiated customer experience. We bring those additional tools for the carriers. So yeah, it's a partnership. It's a journey. It's not one versus the other. It's about how well we can collaborate and bring it more to life.
Amazing. And I think we're coming up to time, so I don't want to sort of push too much further. But from my perspective, I'd wrap out with one of the key findings of our study was that this is Anshu, it's a journey, like you said, but it's a 3 to 5 year journey is what insurers are expecting at the moment. So if you're not already sort of placing the emphasis on your customer experience, it's not too late to get started. And hopefully this video cast has given you some pretty good insights on sort of where to do it, how to do it. But this has been really interesting. I appreciate both of you for joining me today and sharing sort of your thoughts and your insights on the topic. If you haven't sort of checked it out already, definitely check out our market impact report. It's on the HFS website. It's on the Sutherland website. And brilliant. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that.